I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly. We had to get a kill button. $20,000 hardware. Where $20,000.
Okay.
It's like what the NBA uses and like live broadcasts.
Okay.
So that we can be live, and then if I say something horrible, which happens,
like this episode brought to you by Child Abuse.
But that was funny. I made myself laugh. That was worth it.
So what? You press the kill button and what?
It erases it.
It goes back like 30 seconds.
Still run the risk that someone was screen recording it, yes?
No. So it runs through this machine on a 30-second delay.
Okay.
So then, if we hit the kill switch, the 30 seconds is gone. Yeah. Nobody sees it.
So the live stream will have a little bit of a delay.
30-second delay.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's all take a deep breath, okay? Let's count to 10. If maybe you have like some blood pressure pills laying around, you could take some of those. Okay. Are we good? Because my Twitter timeline has been filled with people losing their ever-loving minds about the button fail on the H3 show. In case you don't know, on this past Wednesday's episode, they were doing a content court episode over Jack Doherty, and there was a misunderstanding that resulted in Ethan hitting the button. Well, the button failed, and the audience might have overheard what was supposed to be a private moment between Ethan and AB. So that you can understand the full picture, I'm going to play a clip of what the audience heard and saw as they watched it live.
We got 10 minutes. Do we watch this?
Like, I have this new
Final
clip thing where,
words
like, I have a Discord and people,
fuck me.
like, people that join my course, they can use they get access to
I think we covered most of
We're
it.
doing it.
What are you
It's
doing?
so awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro.
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing
On
Wednesday.
Friday, maybe. Is it?
You guys, like...
All right, I'm taking my hand off. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
What? Ay.
What? Okay. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
What? Ay.
What? Okay, well.
Heard all that.
Thanks, button.
All right.
Well, I'll just explain myself then. Like, it's like, you know, first of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
it makes it.
I was being selfish.
No, fuck it, dude. That button fucked me, dude. Can you imagine that button fucking me over like that? Like, dude, I mean, it could have been worse. What kind of button is this, bro? Who's getting?
We had
What's with the
technical
button
issues
people?
earlier. We had technical issues earlier, and it screwed some stuff up. I was running around in the back trying to fix everything, and I don't know. I guess that was still glitched out. It didn't work.
Bro, how am I ever going to trust the button? We need a button redundancy.
We need a button for the button.
Ugh.
Apologies.
All right. Listen, I do have to leave.
Naturally, the reaction was mixed, though a lot of people were mad at Ethan and Hila. The next day, they made what was usually their members' live stream and made it a public episode where Ethan addressed, amongst many topics, what happened with the button failing. Turns out there was additional context that was missing in the whole messed up situation. And Dan, who's a queen, can't do nothing wrong, was kind enough to share that additional context with us.
I guess we should talk about the button thing. Here's what I'm going to say about the button thing. At the end of the content court yesterday, there was a moment where I made an aside to AB and I was angry and the button didn't work and everybody saw the interaction. I'm embarrassed that you guys saw it. However, I do believe that this is a private, professional situation that was never meant to be public, and I will continue to handle it in such a way, in the same fashion. We will continue to work on this situation behind the scenes as professionals, as coworkers, and I mean, that's really all I got. You want Dan has something he wants to say. Yeah, Dan has something.
Well, if you're not going to say it, listen, we have...
Dan has a thesis.
Oh, so I have a thesis here. The way it all played out yesterday with the button glitching out, it glitched out in this specific way that genuinely made it seem way worse than it actually was in the room. Now, obviously, once we realized that it was broke, like, obviously it's embarrassing. I'm not even going to say that. And it was cringe. From a outsider perspective, if we could step away from it for a second, the way it played out, it is cosmically unfortunate how it happened. Because basically what happened is the button removed the 20 seconds leading up to what everybody heard on the episode.
I got anti-buttoned.
You got anti-buttoned. And so what that means is... A, it didn't have the full context, and B, the conversation was hidden behind the button screen, so you couldn't really see like the mood in the room as it was being said. So I would like to just show the footage. I like to just show everybody what happened.
Dan believes in this.
Personally, I felt like it really just was not that big a deal and is kind of funny. So
here's Dan. Okay, go ahead.
So this is what actually happened in the room.
We should have just ended the whole thing. We were at the end.
Yeah, we can. Let's end it. You want to tell me about his scam shit?
Words?
You mean finish it all up today?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, we're close enough.
Final words.
We got 10 minutes. Do we watch this?
Like,
So this was all
final
seen.
words. Like I have a Discord and people.
Fuck me.
Like, people that join my course, they can use. They get access to
Why
a
fuck
Discord.
Look how Olivia's the only. Look at Olivia. Look how sweet she is. Can you switch to
Why is
Olivia
it
real
cropped
quick?
all weird? I don't know why.
I've been watching him work on it for it's really good.
It's okay.
Really good.
Thank you,
Bro,
Olivia. That's so sweet.
Yeah, you're so red. This is how the show works. We ran out of time.
Yeah. No, I think we covered most of
We're
it.
doing it.
What are you
It's
doing?
so awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Just like, this is what I'm talking about when it's always like...
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro...
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I'm about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday. Is it? You guys like...
All right, I'm taking my hand up. And the button didn't work.
Okay, to me, in the moment, and even watching it back right now, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a private conversation, so it's embarrassing that, you know, it was overheard by the audience. This was a, come on, man, like, we got to get out of here moment. It wasn't even like a chewing out, but it's being perceived that way. I think the button cut it right after AB said, like, me, right? And then it just cuts to that screen, and you're hearing hushed tones. To me, when I watched the stream, I'm like, Jesus, that does seem bad. And then when I watch this, I'm like, oh, okay, this is just like a minor moment.
Fuck me, right?
Yeah, my point was just that, like, I didn't want to make it awkward, but we had to leave, you know what I mean? And whatever, that's a thing that me and AB will talk about privately and we'll work on together as professionals. I'll say, you know...
People saying it's still bad? Who are these people? Do you have jobs? Like,
No,
what are you
I don't
talking
think so.
about? It's a minor spat. Like his boss got mad at him and said something real quick, but it's not like he chewed him the fuck out. It's just not that big a deal. I don't know.
It's
soft. That's
here's
what I have to say.
Here's what I'll say. It's never okay for a superior to talk down to somebody like that. Okay, especially in front of their coworkers. So I was wrong for that. However, this is a high stress job. There's a lot going on, especially when it's live, and sometimes we get heated, and so. You know, I hit the button.
It's a live show.
I had an aside. I spoke curtly and more harsh than I would have liked to, and you know, that's about it. I mean, so that's what it is. I mean, and again, there's whatever issues there are professionally, me and AB and everybody here is going to work on it professionally behind the scene, like we planned. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously it's awkward. Like, I'm not going to say it's not awkward. I don't know. Like, it's not that deep, people. It's just really not.
And that is what
we're good, everyone. We're good.
They talked about it. Like, we came to an understanding. So it's a minor bump, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not my place to say, because I was being a dick, okay? I was being an asshole. And like I said, a superior shouldn't talk down to his employee like that. However, workplaces are pretty, I mean, like, this shit happen. I mean, like, it shouldn't, right? But like, I don't know. It should happen.
We're human. Yeah, we got frustrated. You got a little
like
frustrated.
literally,
in the
you've never
moment and
been
you
mad at
snapped
somebody.
maybe slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, I just it came across as a more come on, bro. It's a come on, bro moment. You know, we all have that. Come on, man. It was a come on, man. Like we got to get out of here. We're losing our sitter. We got to get home. Like
Listen,
stop,
you usually.
stop making it awkward.
Yeah, whatever. So it's like, okay, if you're mad at me, fine. I shouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? I apologize for that. That was an inappropriate way. But I also, like I said, it happens. And I'm always working on, improving. I think that I am generally, I don't think I talk like that usually. When I do, I feel bad, and I work on myself. Sorry that you're all perfect little fairies that float around and drop pixie dust wherever you fly. And just you leave a path of happiness and bliss and euphoria in your path. Because you've never been angry in your life. Right, Tom?
Never.
It happened.
I mean, I see where he's coming from, and I see where you're coming from, too. You're running the show.
Yeah.
You're out of time. Hey, I'm out of time. Listen, I say this with peace and love. It's got to end. So, I mean, I get both your perspectives. I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Exactly.
I think it was my fault because I didn't acknowledge.
Yeah.
I didn't acknowledge Ethan's tattoo yesterday, and I think he's a little upset about it. Your tattoo is great. I love your tattoo.
Oh,
I told ABO it would be framed in flame and barbed wire.
So naturally, everybody saw that clip and was like, oh, okay. So that wasn't like that big of a deal, right? Maybe I was looking for a topic that would get me annoyed enough that I would go through the effort of coming back to YouTube. Or maybe I'm a parasocial freak who's too forgiving towards Ethan. I'm not, by the way. I'm not, I promise. First of all, I'm just normal parasocial fucking rude. No. I'm just logical, and I feel like a crazy person because this isn't just people from like the H3 Snark subreddit or like Trisha Paytas fans. These are H3 fans complaining. It's no secret that Ethan has made mistakes by saying inappropriate things in the past. Obviously, the button wouldn't exist on the show if he hadn't. So I'm not denying that. But why I find this whole thing so ridiculous is because in the small handful of YouTubers who are authentically, like almost to a fault, genuine and, share their thoughts and opinions, emotions, and like, I don't know, like health issues, right, with their audiences, Ethan does that live for over 12 hours a week, and he has for years. Because of that, I have never expected perfection from this man. When he makes a mistake, he apologizes for it. If it ever feels like he's like, I don't know, skirting around an issue and like not addressing things head on like he usually does, it could be because he's uncomfortable. It could be because, I don't know, he's embarrassed. It could be because he spoke without thinking, or he didn't realize that people would take offense to something. And he's like looking back and he's like, oh my fucking God, why did I do that? And, he's live to 40,000 people, and maybe he's just like wanting to deflect so that they can like move on because it's a lot of pressure. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't feel like I should be explaining any of this, but apparently I have to. I just think it's wild that on a platform that has like some of the most controversial people on the internet, we're gonna like not give grace to this man who genuinely like seems to be a good person. And after watching him for years and years and years, I do believe he's a good person, and I do believe that he means well, and I think that his sense of humor gets away from him. And guess what? It gets away from me too. Obviously, I don't go live. Obviously, I tend to write scripts, at least like an outline of what I'm going to talk about. So when it comes to, me having slip-ups, they're going to be few and far between compared to Ethan Klein. Again, if you're listening to this and you're like, this is very common sense. Well, apparently I have to spell out common sense because there are literal fans of H3 who are going on the Snark subreddit and complaining. Okay, so I am currently editing and I needed to pull some clips for this video, and I decided to go to the H3 Snark subreddit so that I could pull some of the posts of fallen fans explaining why the button was the final straw for them. And I came across a couple of posts sharing this video by this YouTuber with like, I don't know, 800 subscribers. And he seems to have given the H3 Snark a shout out, and the people in the subreddit seem to be a fan. So I pulled some clips from the video. But just before we start, the post that is currently behind him looks like this, just so that you can see a little bit more of what the subreddit has to offer. And you know, if you are hate watching my video right now and that looks good to you, man, I'll give H3 Snark a shout out as well. Y'all, birds of a feather, dude. If that looks good to you, please go over there. Okay, let's get started.
That's what happened, and it's certainly not good. No employer should ever speak to their employee like this, and frankly, no person should ever speak to another person like this, but I wouldn't consider this something that is a scandal or cancelable. What I think is actually worse and more of a scandal or more cancelable is their response to the backlash. And then this is where it starts to get bad, because he's not taking any responsibility for this. He says, and I quote, "The button fucked me for that." But you're passing all of the blame for what you did onto the button for the fact that, I don't know, it didn't cover up how you were treating people.
I just want to like really clearly point out that this guy just said that it is cancelable. It is cancelable, guys. You heard it here first.
If I slap my friend and a bystander calls the police on me, I can't then tell the police, oh, well, he wasn't meant to see it, and then that just be okay. That doesn't excuse anything. I might remember a little while back, Steven Crowder, who's a big conservative podcaster, had an abusive interaction verbally with his wife, who was pregnant at the time. But as this clip was leaked and then blew up online, his excuse for it and his defense was that it was a private conversation between a husband and a wife, and the internet should have never been allowed to have an opinion on it. But I think we can all see why that's a terrible argument. Just because I wasn't supposed to see something is not an excuse for that something being bad. Imagine applying this logic anywhere else. I drive drunk, have an accident, and then blame the alcohol for the accident instead of my decision to do what I did. I mean, that's just kind of insane.
So true, bestie. That is kind of insane. Almost as insane as using a drunk driving accident to compare with this situation. Beyond that, as you've seen, another complaint that people have is how he treats AB. Many pointed out that they feel that AB is used as a punching bag, that AB is, you know, like the butt of the joke a lot of the times. They're saying that it doesn't matter that Ethan took accountability for getting upset at AB's comments, that although it was supposed to be a conversation not heard by the audience, that it is completely unacceptable under any circumstances. Well, let's say you, the person that's currently losing their mind in my comment section, let's say you live this idyllic life where you have nothing but the most positive interactions at work by people that possess these like unimaginable levels of patience, right? First of all, you're a liar. No one on this earth is that lucky. But let's say you live in this constant state of peace and tranquility. In that case, you would be so valid in looking at this whole situation with rose-colored glasses on and judge this whole thing from atop your pretty little hill while referring to the person you're supposedly defending as having Stockholm Syndrome. The thing is, like I said, you're either a liar or you're an anomaly. The reality is that at some point in your life, or at some point in your life in the future, you're going to be in a high stress environment, and either you or your manager is going to lash out at the other, whether it is, you know, yelling, or it's just something like a passive aggressive comment, or it's like a cutting look. It's going to happen. It's really not that deep, I promise. Do I think that AB gets the short end of the stick at some points? Yes. But like, part of that is an ongoing bit, and the other part of it is just like the general dynamic in the team.
Have you ever seen an uglier mug in your life? Damn, what a monster.
That is, wow.
I think Philly whitened his teeth too in the Photoshop.
Oh, he must have. Yeah, he touched him up.
I pressed the wrong button there.
Yeah, that's funny.
What?
You said, "Have you ever seen an uglier mug in your life?" And Ian switched to my face by accident. Real
That was
quick.
the wrong button.
No, come on, everyone knows. AB's a handsome king. He's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I still like Philly more.
He's beautiful.
You were in the bathroom. People
and then
were.
you come out here and embarrass me when I'm not even here to defend myself.
Okay, watch it back later.
Watch my back later.
Watch it back later.
I thought you said watch your back later.
Watch your back.
This man told me watch my back.
Like I said, I'm just gonna bring. I'm gonna just bring a whiteboard. I'm bring a whiteboard. And I'll just write on it from now on.
Just for the record, I do not support that threat. That was just meant.
Watch your back,
Watch
lady.
your back later.
I swear
That
that's what
wasn't
I
called
heard.
for AB.
AB is closer to Ethan than it seems anyone's giving him credit for. So, unfortunately, for the people who literally can't understand nuance, this isn't like a normal, you're clocking in for your shift at Chick-fil-A and your manager is like getting on to you in front of customers. This is quite literally not that, obviously. Haters will call fans parasocial for being able to look at two people that they don't know and just observe as if like we haven't been watching movies and TV shows for centuries. No, we haven't. What, decades? A century? Whatever. I'm too tired for this. I don't have to personally know the people involved to be able to observe. In the same way that one can look at the dynamic between Ethan and the crew members and go, oh my God, that's so toxic. I can look at that same situation and go, wow, what a normal human interaction. Absolutely nothing in this life is going to exist perfectly in a little sphere of existence exactly the way you want it. Just as people are allowed to talk too quietly into the mic, people are allowed to not hear that person and completely miss out on the joke.
YouTube's also very grateful for that because what do they get, like 30%, 40%?
I love you, Russ.
Did you say that already?
No, I didn't understand you as I was trying to play it off.
Oh.
I didn't hear you.
I said that YouTube is going to enjoy that as well because they're getting like 30 or 40% of that.
Yep. 30%. Actually, I don't know how much they get from the cash. I think it's 30%.
Thank you.
It's for AB.
We both understand it.
To be fair, half the time when Ethan looks over here, I do the same thing back, so no hard feelings.
Look at your armsies.
And with that, I will get off my high horse and I will pass this question off to you fine people who I just chastised at length. What do you think? Do you think I'm so wrong? If you think I'm so wrong right now, you should berate me in the comment section. In fact, you should leave a comment for every sentence of what you want to say, just so I really get the message. Thanks so much. And with that, Papa blessings to you and upon you, all over your thighs. Bye, guys.